Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Out here in the shop today, just working on the TV lift cabinet, and I was thinking, you know what? I am just really wrapped up in trying to get this project done that I'm just not able to chainsaw carve. So I was thinking about my last video talking about being able to sell your works, you know, as a new chainsaw carver or artist, how to kind of go about that. And I was thinking, well, there is a topic within that we could kind of elaborate on a little bit. That is, where can you sell? So where could you sell your stuff? You know, like where could you start looking and start thinking about it? There's some really easy things that you could start to do, and that is the Facebook Marketplace. Now, Facebook's always full of drama and nonsense, and you just can't get away from that. But by creating an account and using the Facebook Marketplace as a place to market your carvings or your art, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You put it on there, you figure out your local garage sale or sale site, make sure you read their stuff, that it's okay you're selling through them. You post to the marketplace, you'll see a thing that says list on other sites. Click that, choose your local sites. I tend to not do shipping. I tell people they got to do local pickup or I'll meet them somewhere. It just it makes it a little bit easier. Now, if you want to get looking at some other things, you can always go around to a local shop. I touched base on this in the last video. Local shops as in small vendors. You know, if you go to a big box store, they might not be interested in helping you out because a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times big box stores have to sell the same thing through all the stores. So like if you were to go, you know, to the big HD and try to get them to sell your carvings, they may turn you down. Now, I always say, it doesn't hurt to go and ask a manager, because you know in your area they may have a different view on it. I just skip those places. I don't bother going there. What I tend to go for are smaller shops, privately owned businesses, small businesses. I mean, I'm a small business myself, and so I want to support a small business, if that makes sense. You know, like your feed store. Stuff like that. Just small furniture stores that are a small business. Small crafty knick-knack souvenir kind of shops. I have found pretty good luck with that stuff. Stores where they already have things that are handmade goods, you know. I sell through a place that makes sheds. They sell sheds and kids' jungle gyms and all that kind of stuff. And they sell some rustic furniture and things, so that also helps. So I sell my carvings there, and I sell a few furniture pieces. Another store I sell in is way up in the Adirondacks, and they sell hunting and fishing gear. They do really well selling my carvings. Another store I sell at, half of it's a feed store, so you can get all your animal feed there and all that kind of stuff. The other half is a furniture store. So between the two, I've got carvings I sell there, and they do fairly well. There's also some other craft stores I've been in over the years that have, you know, since had to close down due to things we can't mention here. They'll demonetize me, but just stuff like that. So you guys can go, and the easiest way to approach that is you ask for the owner. Those small stores, you ask for the owner or ask for the manager. I always ask for the owner, you know, try to meet them up front and just have a kind of candid discussion about, you know, my work and if they'd be interested in selling. Like I said, I touched base on this in the other video. I think it's important to not show up with a ton of work all at once. You look super eager, and sometimes you put more pressure on people than they can handle. Like sometimes people will just say yes to something without thinking about, you know, the whole term or the whole whatever it is, because they feel a lot of pressure. So I try not to put a lot of pressure on a potential store owner. So what I might do is put one or two really nice pieces in the truck, ask for them, meet them, and say, hey, you know, this is what I do. I chainsaw carve, I build rustic furniture, you know, I was checking out your location, it's a great spot. Would you be interested in selling my work? You know, and then you'll get an answer back and forth and some dialogue, and it might come down to, okay, well, how do we go about doing this? For me, I like to sell on consignment. So consignment means the seller gets a percentage of the sale, right? The store owner gets a percentage of the sale that they're making. And you might say, geez, well, why would you do that? Well, it's sitting at their location. Without them and their location and their help in their store, I wouldn't be able to make that sale. For me, you guys know I've said it. Work a full-time job. I'm a dad of 3. I'm married. I'm running YouTube and I'm running my small business. I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to run a storefront. I can't do that. I can't. So I have to rely on stores like that to sell my work, right? So that means they have to be able to get paid. Now, by giving them the ability to receive a consignment or a commission on the sale, whatever that percentage is, you need to be comfortable with. So you got to have some dialogue there. I do not jack up my prices for those stores. So example, if I sell something for $100 out of my shop to somebody, that same or similar sized item will go for $100 at the store. Why? Because I want to be consistent. Custom orders and things like that, that's different. But you're knocking out 1-foot bears, say it's $100. It's the same wherever I'm selling it. Now, they could change from like this year to last year or in a few months, and if I have perfected a style or something, so the price might be different in that aspect. But then that older bear that doesn't look the same, that's 100, and the new bear that's 125, I might put sale on the old one, sale price, and take like $5 off, and people can see the difference, you know what I mean? Because you guys are new, you're growing too. Your stuff's going to change over time, get better as you progress. Now, that is all on you to go and talk to the store owner and put yourself out there. So one, in doing this, I think it's good to be humble. You don't want to go in all, I'm the best, and talk yourself up. People don't really care for that. They don't. But you do need to have some confidence. You've got to have confidence that you can provide the product they need or they want, or that you say you can provide at the price that you're talking about. So what tends to happen is I say, okay, I could sell these. I sell these. Here they are. Oh yeah, we like those. Cool. I sell these for $50. You sell them for 50? Yeah, I sell them for 50. Okay, so what do I get out of that? Well, I'm going to bring them to the store. I'll bring in 9,000 of them. We'll sell them all for $50 a piece in your store, and you get a cut. You get the X percentage of the sale. Whatever X is, that's what you have to agree upon. They say, okay. Or the other thing is, each one of these is different. I make all kinds of different stuff, right? So I will always have different prices. This is what I'll do for you at the store. I will already have them priced out. So $100, $50, $25, $300. So when I bring them, they're already priced. You don't have to do that. Now when I do that, I keep a catalog or I keep an inventory list. A, X amount of dollars. B, X amount of dollars. With a little bit of a, this one's blue, this one's green. Bear 25 inches, eagle 40 inches, blue tree, green tree. So hopefully that all kind of makes sense. You want to keep track of the stock that you bring into the store, because sometimes things happen. Sometimes they have many people on consignment, things get lost in the wash, and then it's important every month to do an inventory when you go get paid, because I get paid out once a month. So they pay me out once a month, I'll come to collect a check, or they mail it to me. If it's a mail it to me situation, I'm out there every few months, and then we just do an inventory check. I also have the store owner keep the tag they remove from the carving. This way, when they come to pay me, I can take that tag and go, oh, letter A, sold. And I can look at my sheet, write sold next to letter A. Keeping track of inventory is a really, really important thing to do, especially when you're selling through other people. Stuff happens. People aren't always trying to rip you off and all that kind of stuff. It just, things get lost in the wash. They're running a business too, So it's good to be organized yourself and not solely rely on that store owner. Now, that's where I have found the best luck, right? Consignment through stores. I really have. Another place you guys could try to sell through is Etsy, or online stores like that are already established and set up. There's another one I was going to talk on, but I can't remember the name of it, but it's very much like Etsy. Now, Etsy shops can be set up very easy, but what I find to be very time consuming is adding your product. Now, if you're carving bears and they all look different like mine, that means you have to take separate photos, all the dimensions, and give a separate description for each piece, right? On top of that, you have to take that item, put it in a box, pack it as if you're going to ship it, weigh it, measure it, and put all those dimensions in as well. You might say, well, why? Well, that way when a customer shows up on Etsy and they're like, oh, I want this bear, they put it in their cart, they can see what shipping cost is going to be right off the bat. Now, Etsy does try to get you to do free shipping, but I have found that to be not very good in my experience. There's items where if you're creating the exact same item every time, and it's always the same weight and always the same size, you can figure it out. You know, you can figure out, okay, no matter where this ships, it's not going to cost me more than $3. So if I put $25 on it, I make 22. You know what I mean? When it comes to the carvings, they're always off a pound or half a pound or a few ounces. The size is different. And so when I say, oh yeah, I'll do free shipping on a $100 bear, and then come to find out it's going to California and it's going to cost me $50, and I just made $50 on a bear I had hoped to at least make 80. Things to consider. Now, the other thing with Etsy is, at least here in New York, you've got to have a business number. So you've got to be able to collect sales tax, which you have to pay back to the state. Not everybody deals with that, but here in New York, we have to deal with that. And so if you're starting this up as a business and you're looking to sell legit on websites like that and things, you really got to have that number. Now, that number also comes into play with stores. Stores are, you know, you have to be able to say, like, that store is paying me, they collect the sales tax if you're a business, and then you claim that, right, on your taxes and your sales tax that you have to pay at the end of the year, and your income tax and all that, because they are writing you checks. So at the store, they're writing you a check at the end of the month. They're claiming that check, which means you have to claim that check as income, at least here in New York. You also have to look at that and go, okay, do I pay sales tax on that from the store? What I have found is that the store pays the sales tax end of it. Now, this isn't legal advice, guys. All right, it's not. This is just kind of what I deal with. Look it up for your area when it comes to tax and sales tax and filing your taxes for your small business, what you need to do to set it up properly. Cash sales are always nice. They're an easy peasy sort of thing to handle. Cash is king. It always is. You don't have to wait for the money to be transferred to your account. You don't have to worry about a check bouncing or being fake or fraudulent. You always know it's there, right? You can count it out. There's your exact change. You give them their change back. Whatever you have to do, cash is king. It always is. It's an easy sale. So selling through Facebook Marketplace, online stuff like that. Selling through shops and stores. Selling through Etsy or other similar sites. Now, I don't always have the best luck with the online stuff. I have better luck with those in-person things. Another thing to look forward to are the markets. I know some of you have like markets or craft fairs, things like that. Craft fairs can be a really awesome place to sell. I have found it's good to have a really nice piece that's fairly expensive, 1, 2 most, and then everything else can be from like the $20 to the $100 range. Those will sell the best. Maybe a couple at $200, maybe one at $300. You set yourself up that way, you make a lot of little sales. The big pieces draw people to your tent, make a lot of little sales. Now, some craft fairs do require that in New York, they require you to bring your certificate to show that you collect sales tax, or at least submit it once so they know that you're legit and you're following the rules, so they don't have any, kickback on that from anybody. But you have to look into your own area for those sorts of things. These are just things that I have dealt with and some things that I've done and, I sell through. Because I know we got a lot of new carvers and new artists like, well, how do I go about selling my work? How do I do this? And it can be really complicated because it can be and it cannot be. And a lot of it is your drive and how bad do you want to sell your work if you're in it to sell. Now, this isn't for everybody. Some people just want to create and they don't want to sell anything. And that's totally fine. That's fine. I make pieces sometimes I keep. I don't want to sell everything. There's a lot of things that I keep for us. But when you want to make a few dollars and upgrade those chainsaws or those tools or whatever it is that you're using, making a few bucks goes a long way. So there's, a few different ways you guys can work on, trying to sell your works through. I feel like there was one other one and I was going to touch base on, setting up a website to sell through, your own website, personal website. That's tough because you really got to get your name out there. I have a website with work on it. I haven't sold anything through it. Website's been up like 3 years. Yeah, there's different things I could do to make it a little bit better, but I've never sold anything through that. What else for selling? Stick to your prices. Stick to your prices is a big one. If it's $100, it's $100. Well, I'll give you 80. You go to Walmart and try to just talk them down to 80 from something that's 100? No. And their stuff is mass produced by the millions, by the thousands, by the 100,000s, right? And you're willing to pay that price without being upset. Believe me, you'll deal with it. People want to talk you down with everything. One thing to keep in mind is make sure your price is a reasonable, fair price. And when you set that price and you say to yourself, that is fair, that is reasonable, stick to your guns. I know I've said I bring prices down to sell, and that's not always the best practice. Getting into it early and starting off, set your price. That's why it's a little bit easier to start cheap, and as you progress, work your way up so people can see your progression. Yeah, it's kind of it. It's kind of all I was going to go over today, though. Places to sell, a little bit of tips for selling your guys' chainsaw carvings or your art, because really a lot of this can apply to, you know, any new art form, but, you know, the system could always be a little bit different. Man, I feel like there was something else I was going to put in there. I don't know. I haven't had breakfast yet. I've had like 3 cups of coffee, getting the jitters, got to get some food. I do hope you guys are having an awesome day already, and you continue to have an awesome day. And you know what? That's what it was. We hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you made it this far, right, we've hit 10,000. We're actually over. I think we're 10,100 and something. So awesome. You guys rock. Like, I really, really do appreciate it. It is just... it's cool. It is cool. 10,000 is a big milestone for me. I remember when I hit 1,000, I was like, what? And now 10,000. Super cool. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you've watched this, you haven't given it a thumbs up or hit subscribe, be sure to do that. All right. It helps my channel continue to grow. And I want you guys to keep an eye out. All right. I'm going to do another video, and it's going to get posted very, very soon about how to enter the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Okay, because we'll be doing a giveaway here pretty soon. I've got to get through some big projects, though, guys. I really do. I've got some shows coming up. Having a tough time even chainsaw carving because of this. The deadlines and things that I've got to get done for other work. But keep an eye out. It will say 10,000 subscriber giveaway details. All right, it's going to be that video. I'm actually going to shoot it after this and probably put it up on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that video. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to give you the instructions on how to enter. So when you guys hit subscribe, or if you already have, go over. You'll see the bell. Hit that and hit all, and you guys won't miss that video, and you won't miss any future uploads, okay? Again, hope you guys have had a great weekend. Hope you have an awesome day today. Check out some videos popping up. Leave me some feedback. I forgot that. Leave me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. If you have some questions, I'll try to help you out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.